Okay, on the last video, we worked on centering. So I've got the clay centered and it's ready for the next step. Next step, we're gonna actually use some tools. So let me just show you what we have here. You really don't need that many. A lot of times I just use my hands, but we do have some handy tools. Sponges are very important. Of course, we know what that does. These tools are called ribs. There's a wood one and a metal rib. This metal rib is for shaping rounded edges if you want to do like a round bowl. And this one, obviously, you can do the straight edge, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. The needle tool, we use that just to measure the distance from the back to the inside of the vessel. And what we're going to throw is just a basic cylinder, so I'll use that to see how thick the bottom is. That's really important because you need a bottom of your vessel, obviously, but if it's too thick, it won't dry out and it could possibly crack or bust in the kiln, and you don't want that. So, so here we are, we're centered. We still want to have the speed pretty fast. You want to have hands wet, and you're still going to be anchored the way we were on the last video, but now it's time to open up the vessel. Now this circle here is just as important to be centered as this outside circle, because if this circle is offset, if my opening is here, then you can see there's all this clay on this side and less clay on that side, and that's going to be problematic once the vessel's open. So this step, you really want to be anchored in, elbows in just like before. I put my hands together, whatever finger works for you. My thumb is just a sturdier finger, so I like to use that. And I just, with my other hand, I'll support it, and I just go straight down the center, trying to be as still as possible. You don't want to have your elbow out. This is much more comfortable, but with this elbow out, if I put my thumb in here, I have no stability, and so it will be more likely to get off center if I don't do it that way, or if I do it that way. So I put my elbow in. It's a little awkward, but it works better. I'll go straight down the center, and I just kind of guess to see how close I am to the bottom. At this point, that's where we use the needle tool. And you just want to poke the needle tool right down the center to see how much. And I know you can't see it on the camera, but it's about ½ an inch. I want it a little bit lower than that, maybe between 1/4 and ½ an inch deep. So I'm just going to press in there a little bit more. Once I get it down to the point that I want, it's time to open it up. And what I do from here, I want my 2 fingers going straight down. And you don't want to lean this way, because if you do that, if you look at this angle, you'll end up with a funnel shape. And you want it to go straight up rather than out like a funnel. So go straight down in, and then start to put pressure on those fingers, prying it towards your body. And you can add a good amount of pressure. You don't want to go too fast, but that's a good speed. Okay, and that opens up the vessel. From here on out, you've got walls up. That means you have to slow your wheel down because it's very vulnerable and it's watery, and if you go too fast, it's just going to get a little crazy on you. So slow your wheel down. And at this point, everything up to this point was very muscle and pushing and pressure. Now, from here on out, you want to be really delicate. Everything's just fingertips. If you're right-handed, typically you want to have your left hand in the center and your right hand on the outside. The rotation of your wheel needs to rotate away from you or counterclockwise. If you are left-handed or you'd rather be on this side here, it's going counterclockwise for me. That would not work. This particular wheel that I have has a switch right here that I could change the rotation to where it would run clockwise, and this position would be okay. Always want it away from you. So I'm putting mine back. From here, you've got to go very delicately. You got 1 finger on the inside, 1 finger at the bottom, and I just push in to make this indentation right there. That kind of gives me an idea of where my finger needs to stay underneath this ridge. The finger on the inside is slightly above, so if the clay wasn't in the way, I'm doing this right here. You stay in this position and just slowly go up the wall. And here, consistency is everything. You don't want to slow down, you don't want to stop in between. Just start, and once you start, just keep going straight up. So I'm applying pressure, and I'm bringing it up, 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 slowly. Don't stop, don't go too fast. And then when I get to the rim, I don't want to go all the way to the top of the lip. I want to stop right here and slowly back away. See how much it grew from that point? This is still too thick, so I'm going to keep doing this run. Do it again. Put pressure at the bottom. Pinch your fingers. I'm kind of putting more pressure on the outside finger than the inside because I don't want it to flare out. I want it to go straight up. And I tend to be strong with my inside hand, so I have to consciously push harder with my right hand, or the outside hand. Okay? Now it's getting pretty tall. I want to every now and then compress the top lip, push down here, support the sides. That keeps the clay compressed and level, and it keeps that lip intact. So I'm going to keep doing this until I get to the right thickness. Just go very slowly up. Being careful not to stop. Just go all the way up. And it's just a gentle pressure. I'm not squeezing too hard. Remember I said before, everything has to be very delicate at this point. So I'm just very gentle with it. Push in from here. So that concludes this video. On the next video, we'll go ahead and open this up and shape it however we want to do it. Thank you for watching.